Twilight Memories, The Three Sons.
Woo! That looks good.
A visitor to a plush New York cafe commented wonderingly upon leaving, "I always thought I'd forgotten how to dance. But it wasn't me, it was the music. I couldn't follow it. Now the things those three people play, well, I can dance to that all right."
1983.
63.
Brad's much closer. This is 1960 even.
Oh!
Those three people were the Three Sons, and the compliment wasn't unusual. For 20 years, the trio has been turning out bright, bouncy music with a strong rhythmic beat that is perfect for dancing and or just plain pleasant listening.
Oh, that was the second thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not where I was going.
Where you were curious about the and or? Go on.
Yeah. Perfect for dancing and or pleasant listening.
It just feels like you can't do both. You can't dance to it or just sit and relax. You know,
I love sitting in my living room and just blasting music.
electric slide.
Oh, you went CNC Music Factory. Okay.
And you sitting there reading a book. Pet the cat.
Nothing like reading a book and listening to Usher's Yeah.
This album is, in fact, by way of being a 20th anniversary package. It contains an even dozen of the trio's most popular tunes of the past 2 decades. But something new has been added. They have all been freshly recorded in living stereo.
Living
Stereo to keep pace with the current era of faithful sound reproduction.
Neat. What else you got?
So living stereo just doesn't mean anything, right? Living stereo.
Living stereo.
It's like, well, yeah, it's like when you get an email from someone and they're like, "Oh, this is a living document." It just means they're not done with it yet. They're not sure what they're going to do with it.
I think, yeah, that's what living stereo is, like DocuSign.
Yeah, just everyone can mess with it.
It's not. It can't be it.
The author of this called out to the people in his office like, "Hey, I need something new to make it sound like it sounds better than before. Let's brainstorm some stuff. How about try lithium?" It's like that Star Trek, Frank. I told you got to stop that.
Oh, I got it then. Dynamic stereo. Too complicated. Gonna go with
Too
people's heads.
complicated. It also sounds like the L. Ron Hubbard stuff. No, we got to do something different.
Then one hippie in the back's like, "I don't know, man, brother. It feels like it's alive."
Feels like a live band. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
That's it. Break out the Coke. We've got it.
Originally, the group consisted of a Hammond organ, guitar, and accordion, but for some numbers, the threesome has added to the instrumentation. Peg of My Heart, for instance, has a Celeste and a vibraphone in this arrangement. You'll hear twin pianos in the petite waltz and jet, and the addition of bass and drum is the new to the group for these numbers.
Are you telling me that these guys are playing Peg of My Heart, the #1 hit single written by the Harmonicats?
You bet your ass.
Peg in My Heart, which apparently was made up of every high school gym teacher I ever had.
Did not have the confidence that Peg of My Heart. These are a lot of hype, right? Like the back of these records. So I didn't. When somebody said like Peg of My Heart's like our hit single coming off of this record, that's what they're all gonna say, right? Like this is the one, and then everything else is good too. But the fact that it's being covered by another group of artists is an indication that it had more musical impact and potentially staying power than I initially realized.
And they would always have the stickers on the CD covers. New Pete Yorn album featuring the new hit single Crystal Village. It's not a hit single. You can't make it happen by putting a sticker on there, guys.
It's like when we refer to ourselves as content creators and people roll their eyes. We're going viral. You have 22 views.
Well, it's
like a virus.
A little bit of their history. Boring. A knowledgeable man in the music industry pays them this tribute. They make more music than any other three men in the business. More important, they helped popularize the small groups in hotel dining rooms. And it's now a common thing.
That doesn't mean anything.
I think it means they popularized having music that was at dinner when you really don't want it to be there.
They're three-piece. Like they're like, if you're a three-piece, you're good about gigging and getting from like dining hall to dining hall or bar to bar because you don't have to pull in like a horn section. Like
Right.
Like three-piece is really ideal for like being a gigging working band. Brad, we've got to dump someone.
Honestly, that was then. There's been like a reverse inflation. Now you need to be a single or duo. That's the only way to get, because there's too many breweries that don't want like, they just
Bands.
don't want a lot of noise.
No one drummers. I'm out.
Yeah. You just signed your own death warrant.
The accountant goes to the team. Wow, we need to cut someone who doesn't bring in money. And they just, track the money. Oh, shit. And if you'd like a further testimonial, you might ask Mrs. Mamie Eisenhower, who once named them her favorite recording group. But it's purely non-political listening pleasure you'll get from this album.
At what point is that name on your album? Has that how many copies does that sell? It's like we need some.
But the last two sentences, you name drop Eisenhower, and then, well, don't worry, non-political. This is not a woke album. It's not an anti-woke album.
First lady from 53 to 61, right? Like,
I mean, there's stickers now going back to the New York bestseller syndrome of like Obama. Michelle read this. Michelle Obama read this book, and they put a sticker on it. But nothing political.
Mamie Eisenhower was the Michelle Obama of her time. It's so weird. What they should have done, instead of saying it's not political, they really should have showed it by then having Jackie Kennedy also loves it. You need to get a Democrat to also endorse it to show that it's going across the...
Yeah. From Clinton to
party
Bush,
lines.
you'll never find a first family that doesn't enjoy this album.